Welcome to Cardinal Coach's Corner. I'm Benny Rogers. Our guest today is one of my favorite guests. Is our softball coach in her fourth year, Maria Winn Ratliff. Maria has, by the way, she's just won 822 wins, folks, in her coaching career, 114 of them here at the college. The Cardinals are ranked 13th in the preseason national rankings. The first regular season poll comes out next week, and I personally think the Cardinals are in the top 10, so we'll see about that. They're 15-1. Maria, 16 games in. I know coaches are never completely satisfied, and you will never be completely satisfied, but you have to like what you've seen thus far.
Yeah, we've faced a lot of adversity in the short 16 games that we've already faced, and just everyone's been really resilient. They've bought in. We got a couple new faces. It's a break, and just good scheduling. That's what I tell people when they say you've done well. I said I'm a good scheduler. But in all reality, they've worked really hard. We've improved a ton from the fall, and we've seen a lot out of those returners, and had some new faces really already start to step up for us.
You have a strong sophomore class that helped you to 45 wins last year, which was a school record. Talk about them and your expectations of your veteran players, both like on the field and off the field. What do you expect from them?
Well, they would tell you I expect everything under the sun. But we do. We have a good core group of sophomores that return for us. Jaden Burnham's going to go to UTSA, and she's locked down behind the plate for us and controls the game really well, works really well with our pitching staff. K-Dub is going to go to UT Tyler. She's a mainstay at first. She gets a little bit of time behind the plate, but she's the day in and day out first baseman, and she's off to a really great start. Got Addie Wittram over at second.
A Gold Glove winner from last year.
Gold Glove winner, All-American, the local hometown hero with tons of pressure on her.
Right.
She starts the year off with a home run and has kind of struggled a little bit and just puts a lot of pressure on herself. But, she works extremely hard, does all the little things right. She's a coach's kid, and so you love what she brings to the table. We added Molly Gilbert. She's a transfer from Washburn, from Waxahachie. She's done a really nice job for us and kind of locked down third base. Played her a little bit at shortstop over the weekend just to look at some options that we have. Abby Hollingsworth, going to go to Northwestern State. She's kind of platooned a little bit coming off of an injury. We're trying to figure out where she's going to best fit us. She's played third. She played a little left, DP'd a little bit. You got Mariah DeBose in center field, probably one of the best defensive center fielders I've ever had. Just really going to go catch balls. That was a big ordeal or big reason of why Tarleton was recruiting her. And so she's going to go there in the fall and be teammates with Addie. So really excited about them getting to stay together. And then, the biggest surprise for me really has been Allie Fields. She really worked her tail off in the fall. I didn't know going into the spring who might be that starting right fielder, and so she's worked extremely hard. She's kind of earned that spot, and so she's been a bright spot for us down in the lineup, stealing some bases and coming up with some big hits. She's going to go to Southwestern University. You got Miranda Pena in the circle.
Oh yeah.
She struggled a little bit against a really good Southeastern team, and I think they're going to do a lot of damage up there in the Iowa Conference. But she's done a really, really good job. She's came back in better shape. She's going to Texas Southern, and she's given us some really good quality innings. You got Yanni Valdez, who coming off of 2 knee surgeries, kind of transitioned into a student manager role for us. Works really well with Luis on stats and game changer and all that good stuff. And then, the unsung hero for me is Allison Garcia. We call her Chuck. She's going to come in and get some pinch hits. She might DP a little bit, maybe play a little of third. But what people don't see about her, she came back. She could have been done and wanted to come back and use her last year of eligibility in junior college, and she's going to go off to the Navy. And so she's in the bullpen the majority of her time at practice and at games, and she works extremely hard to get our pitching staff ready. And
right.
So, you don't see her name a lot in the stat lines, but I don't think she gets the credit. And then I'm not really a cheerleader type of coach. And Benny, you see me coach many years prior to coming to Trinity Valley. And
sure.
So when she first got here, she came in at the break last year, and she starts doing some cheers, and everyone's looking at her like, oh, my gosh, Coach Winn is going to lose her mind. And she just brings an energy
right.
to the dugout and to the team. So, that's our sophomore class. And they work extremely hard, and they've done some really nice things from a leadership perspective, both on and off the field. Their academics, is something that's really special. All 10 of them have the ability to be academic All-Americans.
Wow.
And so they work really hard both on and off the field.
Well, one young lady I want you to talk about is Kara Weidenhaupt. She's off to a great start. She's hitting 500, fourth in the nation with RBIs with 28, has 4 home runs and 10 doubles. She seems to be very consistent thus far, and a player that you can count on.
K-Dub is K-Dub. I tell her all the time, if you ever see me do this, she's on another level. She loves softball. She loves to compete. She wants to win. She's a people pleaser. You want 10 of her on your team. She's going to go to UT Tyler. She's going to fit in really well with what Coach Reed does over there. There's never a time she doesn't come to the plate and think that she can hit the ball out of the park. And it doesn't matter if the wind's blowing 50 miles an hour in. She still believes that she can hit the ball out of the park. What people don't understand about her that really makes her special is she can really run. She is a great athlete, has a high softball IQ, and is a great teammate. She wants all of her teammates to be successful. Her biggest downfall is she's very hard on herself. So she already has me, and then you put that in. So she just wants to do so good every single time, and we have to remind her, the really, really great hitters are hitting 300 and 400, and this game is about failure. And so she's worked really hard in the off season to control her emotions. She's worked really hard to kind of have that flush it system when things don't go her way. That we can get her to rebound right away. And so that's something, the maturity that she's brought this spring has been really, really special for us. And that's some things that, a lot of people don't see. You've got to be around her every day and see her temperament every day to kind of understand, some changes that she's made. And those changes have really helped her in her game as well.
You mentioned Miranda Pena. She is 7-0 on the season in the circle. She's got a 1.49 ERA and 40 strikeouts. And, oh, by the way, she's got a perfect game to her credit, which we believe to be the only one in school history. Talk about the growth that you've seen in her.
Well, she knew coming back that she was going to be the returning arm for us and had a chance to do some really special things. And she competed hard last year. It was just she was injured. She was injured all fall, and so she missed a lot of the fall. Then she got injured again in the spring. And so to have her back healthy and to be able to set the tone, because the rest of our pitchers are freshmen. So to be able to set that tone for us and just be able to go out and do what she does. And I didn't even know it was a perfect game. I looked over at Coach Segovia and I said, no hitter. And he goes, perfect game. And I said, I don't know if we've ever had a perfect game in school history. I said, I'm going to have to ask Benny.
Yeah, I was following it on Game Changer. I was thinking when your text came in, I said, I don't think there's been one. I can't remember one.
I don't think we probably celebrated that enough for her. But she's just super humble. It was one of those things. We had a no-hitter on Saturday. I was really upset we didn't go catch a foul ball, and then that young lady got a base hit, and so she had a combined one-hitter with Haley Jaime. And that's a young lady that's coming off of a really bad concussion, and we're glad to have her back, and she's contributing in the circle as well for us.
Well, early on, the North Zone of Region 14 looks like it's got 4 or 5 pretty good teams in it. What are your thoughts as the conference race is about to begin here in a week or so?
Man, we were talking about the SEC earlier. It's as tough as it's ever been. I got into the league in 2016, and some of the teams that were winning 2 and 3 games a year are winning 40 now.
Right.
So Tyler went on the road this weekend and had some tough losses. Played some really good competition. Paris is going out and beating up on some people. Navarro's got off to a slow start, meaning that just getting games in.
Right.
They haven't played a lot of games, but they've been successful. They beat a really good Weatherford team. Northeast Texas is off to a hot start. It just gets better and better. And I tell our kids all the time, it doesn't matter who our opponent is. If we don't play to the level of our ability, it's going to be tough to win. And so we've got some in-game stuff that we really work on. We put a little whiteboard together this year that we believe if we can check mark some boxes off, it's going to take care of the score at the end. So we want to celebrate a lot of things in-game, which is something we've done before but not really put it on paper. And I think when you can put some things on paper and make things visible, it definitely can bring some things to reality. So, there's some things that we believe if we do, we have a chance to win every ball game that we play.
You mentioned getting games in, and folks, I'm going to tell you right now, I have never met a coach that's going to get the game in as much as Marie is. I mean, when it starts raining, my phone starts blowing up with we're moving the game to here, and if that doesn't work, we're moving the game to here. You want to play the games. I mean, that's what you're here for.
Well, I mean, we get an opportunity to play 60 games,
right.
And we can only learn from winning and losing. And so, once we start playing games, the practice part of it is harder for the kids. They don't getting up to the point of playing games. They're excited about all of that. Then once you start playing, it's just like they just want to play more and play more and play more. And you can't simulate game reps. You can get real close to it, but you really can't simulate it. And so we want an opportunity to play everything we can. I mean, Friday for us, we're supposed to go on the road to Grayson, and that doesn't look real promising. So I've already got 7 or 8 backup dates that I've looked at their schedule and our schedule to figure out, how can we pencil this in.
I believe that.
Saturday, we're supposed to host Northeastern Junior College out of Colorado. They're coming down and playing us, Paris and Tyler. Paris has already moved their game to Monday with them. So I've already got on the phone to Mesquite and said, hey, listen, we got chance of weather, backup plan. If the forecast holds out, can we sneak up there? Mesquite Girls Complex, man, I can't thank Elizabeth in that facility enough. They accommodate us the best that they can every time I call and ask.
Right.
And so, it's 50 miles down the road, and they do a really good job. They have a great facility. They hosted a high school event this weekend and still found a way to pencil us in. So it was a win-win for me. I went up in the morning and recruited and got to see some great talent. And they got to play in the afternoon.
Right.
So we're going to do everything we can to get all 60 in. And I love that our administration gives us the ability to do that.
Right.
They're amazing, and not a lot of places, will allow you to do it. So as long as we've got transportation and can get where we need to go. So, Eddie Kite, Dr. Morrison, I just can't thank you enough for what you allow us to do as far as getting those games in and trying to allow us to schedule the best competition we can as well.
Sure. Well, before we go, Maria, I wanted to mention that the Cardinal softball team has had the top GPA in the NJCAA Division I for the last 2 years. How proud of you of that?
I'm going to tell you what, we have some amazing people here. Jack Duffy, Becca Garner, our instructors, Kelsey Barnhart and Tony Segovia are my two assistants. We have Louise Salas as well. But Kelsey, her first year, or I guess it would have been her second year then, was in charge of academics. And we win it, and then we flip it over to Tony, and we win it. So we're just trying to give them, some responsibilities. And so what they do with the grade checks, with the communication with Jack, with the tutoring, we want to go recruit the highest level athlete we can. And with that, we want to get a high achiever in the classroom, and it doesn't always work out perfectly that way. And so, we want 100% graduation rate for everybody that comes through the program that, is going to stay for that time frame. And we put the time in. So today, we've got rain all day, and they're in class all morning, and they're going to have study hall this afternoon. And we do study hall 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week. We want, when they leave here, for them to be the highest academic achievers that they can be, in addition to winning a lot of softball games. But, at the end of the day, a lot of softball scholarships are going to be dictated on how good your academics are.
Right.
And so we want to help them maximize all the dollars that they can. And so we're just very fortunate that we've got some young women in here that see the value in academics, and couldn't be more proud of them in what they do both on and off the field. They're great in the community. Shout out to the Methodist men and the chili dinner, chili cook-off on Sunday. I'm telling you what, anytime you can go do a community service project and eat, kids are always on board for that. So that was really fun, and to see Coach Buss win that and have the best chili, definitely fun. So there's not a place like Athens, America, and it's a great environment for our student athletes to be, from the humanistic side, from the academic side, and the athletic side.
Maria, thanks for stopping by. Like I said earlier, you're always one of my favorites. I love talking I love talking with you, but I love talking softball with you. And before we go, real quick, how about a shout out to the Cardinal Sports Network for doing the games this year?
Holy smokes, man! Those guys. Miles was texting me this morning. What's it look like for this weekend? And the other day it was cold. They were up on the top. Top of that trailer, and it was cold. It's a great benefit for us. It helps us drastically with recruiting. To tell coaches, hey, jump to our YouTube channel, and they get different camera angles. Mm-hmm. What we get from the commentating perspective. Tim, Stephanie, everyone just does.
Right.
Oh gosh, I can't think. Our welding guy. Tom, couldn't think of his name. Tom up there, it's great to see them. And we do Game Changer, right? And so we're going to have that still camera all the time.
Oh, yeah, sure.
For parents to get an opportunity to see more, we're totally blessed. And, honored that they get an opportunity to get out there.
And the view count just keeps going up and up and up up at the kids. So the kids are going back and watching the games. And
well, we're going back and watching the games. The one negative to all of it is it's given some teams some opportunities to really scout us.
Well, true.
But that's what we're seeing in the world today. I mean, everyone's going to having to exchange film and things like that. So
yeah, if you're not doing it, you're behind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So no, that's a great. Another wonderful thing about Trinity Valley and the opportunities that student athletes have here of what our Cardinal Sports Network does.
Well, folks, we want to thank Maria for stopping by. There's 822 wins up here between us, and she's got all of them. So I think she's the one to talk to about softball. We'll see you next week on Cardinals Coach's Corner. Thanks for stopping by this week.
Go Cards.